Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I've got another equipment review for you guys, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Resistable that you see right up over here, the stability ball. I've been coaching for 18 years, and in my 18 years as a coach, trying a bunch of different stability balls, these have easily been my absolute favorite. They are the absolute best, and I'm going to get into the reasons why. In terms of the features, the ones that I have, they are 55 centimeters, and they're made from non-slip rubber, and they are also anti-burst, so if you go stand on them, you don't have to worry about them exploding. They're just going to slowly deflate if they do happen to have any type of deformity in them. And then in terms of the uses, these are going to be great for doing all of your primal patterns. They're going to be very versatile. You could do your pushing, pulling, bending, lunging, squatting, and twisting variations. And they're also going to be great if you are looking to improve your coordination, your stability, your balance, or if you are training your tilting reflexes. With regard to training, we have different types of reflexes. We have righting reflexes and tilting reflexes. Your righting reflexes, that is when you are on a stable surface, whereas regard to your tilting reflexes, that is when the ground beneath you is moving or you are on an unstable surface. So if you are performing things like either skiing, snowboarding, skateboarding, anything where the ground below you is moving, that is when you are going to be using your tilting reflexes, and that is when the stability ball is going to be the best time to use it for those particular events. Now, we're going to get into the pros and cons, but first, real quick, like the video and comment down in the comment section, as it would really help me out and help out with the algorithm. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the content. Now, let's get into the pros and cons. The number one pro is that these are going to be very, very cost effective, and they are going to take up a limited amount of space. So if you do have a very, very small studio to work with, these are going to be absolutely terrific. You could even just put them around in the corner in your basement. Another one of the pros is that they're going to be very, very fun and versatile to use. If you are the type of person where you don't really enjoy doing weight training and you'd rather do things that are a little bit more fun for you, then the stability ball will accomplish that. And again, it's very versatile. You can do all of your primal patterns, your pushing, pulling, bending, lunging, squatting, twisting. I actually have a playlist that I made a few years ago. This was 6 or 7 years ago, and it has a bunch of different variations for the Swiss ball for all of the different primal patterns. You can check it out right up over here. Another one of the pros is that the grip on these are going to be absolutely phenomenal. Of all the different balls that I've tried, these easily have the best grip. A lot of them, what's going to happen is your feet are going to slip a little bit and you really have to clench to hold on. These ones, you're not going to have that issue. Another pro, they're great if you are planning on training or improving your stability, coordination, and balance. They're also, as I stated earlier, going to be great for the tilting reflexes. So if you do partake in some type of sport or you enjoy doing activities that require the tilting reflex, like you are doing something like either the sports that I mentioned earlier, you're doing skiing, snowboarding, you are surfing, you are performing anything where the ground below you is moving, stability ball training is going to be a great way to enhance and develop those tilting reflexes. And then one of the final pros, and this one is probably the most important, is that they are very, very low maintenance. They rarely need to be inflated. These two balls that I have right over here, the two gray ones, I've had those since 2010, and I think since 2010, I've inflated them 3 separate times. Very, very low maintenance. You very rarely have to inflate them. The last time that I inflated them was back in March when I moved into my new facility, and all 4 of the balls that you see right over here, all of them were inflated on the exact same day within a couple minutes of each other, and they were all inflated to the exact same size. Now, if you look at these 2 gray ones right over here, the Resistable, you can see that they still have maintained all of the air that is in them. Whereas the next one, the TKO gray one, you can see that it is significantly smaller. And then the Bally's ball that is right next to it, that one, it's a little bit better than the TKO ball, but it's nowhere near the way that the other balls are. So if you are looking for a great ball that is not going to burst at all, it's gonna have a really good grip, and you rarely need to re-inflate it, definitely the Resistable is going to be absolutely phenomenal. In terms of the cons, one of the cons is, as I mentioned, I got these back in 2010, and from friends, what I've heard is the new Resistables that have come out, they aren't quite as good as the ones that I got back in 2010. I cannot speak to it because, again, I have not actually tried them. These are the only ones that I've tried, but from what I've heard from other coaches, they've gone down in quality a little bit. But again, I have no idea because I've never actually tried them myself. And then one of the final cons is that there is a big misconception with regard to stability ball training, where a lot of people think that, oh, you know what, it's going to be great for core activation, core stabilization. But the truth is, you really can do a lot of these Swiss ball exercises without developing a lot of the core, as long as it is a lot skill based. So if you are going to be performing things like squats or anything like that, If you want to engage your core, the best way to engage your core is going to be standing overhead pressing, because when you are doing a standing overhead press, your center of gravity is going to be a lot higher because the weight is going to be a lot higher. So because your center of gravity is higher, your core is going to have to work a lot harder to stabilize. So if you want the best bang for your buck exercise for core stabilization, doing something like a military press is going to be significantly better for core stabilization and core strengthening than something like a stability ball squat. So overall, that is one thing that a lot of people will tend to get misconstrued and they'll think that it is great for developing the core, but really overhead pressing is going to be the best thing that you could do for core strengthening. Now, in terms of who could benefit from it, if you are partaking in a sport that requires predominantly tilting reflexes, so something like skateboarding, skiing, surfing, snowboarding, if you are a tightrope walker, all of those are going to be great to use the stability ball because they're going to help develop those tilting reflexes. Also, if you own a physiotherapy clinic, me personally, I use the stability balls quite a lot with my physiotherapy patients, and it's great for rehabilitation. If you are doing rehabilitation on yourself, it's going to be a great way that you can incorporate some rehab exercises at home. You don't need a lot of equipment, you don't need a lot of money, you can do a ton of exercises with them. And then one of the final things is if you are very, very limited with a budget and you are limited on space, they're going to be great because you can just tuck it away in a corner. In terms of who won't be able to benefit from it, if you partake in a sport that requires predominantly righting reflexes, which is going to be all of your major sports, things like football, soccer, baseball, hockey, golf, tennis, boxing, MMA, you are predominantly using your righting reflexes in those. So because you're using your righting reflexes as opposed to your tilting reflexes, then Swiss ball training or stability ball training, it's not going to be the best bang for your buck if you are trying to develop in that sport. Yes, you are occasionally going to need to use your tilting reflexes, but it is a very, very small component of the sport. So most of your training should be done on a flat, smooth surface, just like the sport that you are actually playing. But overall, I absolutely love it. And in my 18 years as a coach, these are by far the best balls that I've ever owned in my life. So if I had to buy them again, I absolutely would. Unfortunately, though, I don't know if I can buy them again because, as I said, they ended up restructuring how exactly they make it, so I don't know if they make them again. But overall, definitely give the Resistable a try because they are absolutely phenomenal. And then that's pretty much it for today's video. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask your questions down in the comment section so I could help you guys out. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I'm going to keep making these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell as I'm going to be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.